But I was a field carrier transporter in my last appointment. And I went to 3 of the top 5 trauma centers in the United States. And the doctors told me, we're going to try to prepare you for what you're going to see when you deploy. And on my first deployment, I was a charge nurse at Bagram Air Force Base. And they were right. Some of these doctors had deployed, and when they trained me in Maryland and Baltimore, shock trauma, and in Cincinnati, and in St. Louis, they tried to prepare me. And when I got downrange, and I had a baby in my hand that was intubated, that was a preemie, from an Afghani woman who was injured, and they delivered, and I had to adjust the tube, and if you have a straw on your table, that tube was smaller than the straw. And the anesthesiologist was in the trauma bay taking care of the surgeries of the patients who were wounded. So I called the RT, and the RT said, I'm not touching that. So I had to adjust, and the RT taped the tube. And that's how we saved the baby, and that was my responsibility, the charge nurse. I had to deal with anything that other people weren't comfortable with. And then you had people who the doctor said, that patient will never survive in this condition. I worked at IU bone marrow transplant. The girl had 30% burns. I just implemented the isolation procedures that nobody else was following. The girl survived. It's a matter of education. If you have the right education, if you have the willingness to train people, you can take things that you know and the knowledge that's out there and apply it and make it work. But the thing is, some people don't have that knowledge. So the things I learned here in Indiana, the things I've learned in the military, I've applied when I came back. I started working with disabled kids. There was a kid that was going to Raleigh. He said 6 to 12 months. He was going to die. He didn't die. The mom tried cannabis. Before this point, I was a prohibitionist. I didn't believe in marijuana. Kid's still living 3-4 years later. His seizures have stopped. He used to have up to 15 a day. He would stop breathing for up to 5 minutes at a time. It's just absolutely incredible to me. This, which I have, was patented. It's marijuana, cannabinoid, patented by the U.S. government, saying that cannabinoids have medical benefits. 2003. I laid some of them out on the table. I didn't have enough for every table to have one. When I started doing this research after I took care of this kid, I discovered that the federal government has evidence that they patented, our federal government patented cannabinoids, marijuana, as medicine. I thought, what are we doing here? Why aren't we progressing with this? Why is the government dragging its feet? Then, 2017, federal government reviewed over 24,000 articles, research studies, and journal reviews from doctors from all over the world. I went through this, it took me 9 months. 9 months to review what they gave to Congress. Congress reviewed it. They were told of all the benefits. I gave out a summary on most of the tables too. The number one finding that they found was cannabis was good for adult chronic pain. I thought, wow, we have an opioid crisis. In Goshen at the Rotary Club, I presented how we could use about 20 different ways of treating pain with alternative means. Cannabis was one. Guess what Rotary wanted me to focus on? Cannabis. They didn't care as much about the other treatments, which there are a lot of other treatments besides opioids to use. We still have a problem with opioids in Indiana and across the country. This is one way of using it. It's not the only way. So this goes over right here, is what I was talking about. Number one. I just cut and pasted right from the study. But if you read through it, like number one was cannabis plant for chronic pain. Everybody's heard about nausea for cancer patients. They've been using it. They actually patented Marionol, which they told me is about 600 times stronger than a joint. It's synthetic THC that was patented back in the, well, they studied it back in the 70s and patented it, and the FDA approved it in, I think it was 1984, 1983. So when they tell you this ain't your grandma's pot, and they tell you, oh, the percentage is 20% or 40%, we've been giving patients this stuff and allowing them to go out and dry, and 600 times stronger than this ain't your grandma's pot for these cancer patients. So when they try to scare you and tell you we can't let people have marijuana, they've been giving it to people since the early 80s. So it's a matter of any other medication and getting the research out and finding out exactly how it works. So they have the information. We just need to get the federal government on board. Multiple sclerosis, it works great for spasticity from the studies that they reviewed. Problem is, we still need the research. We all have an endocannabinoid system. Every single mammal on this planet does. When you go out and you run, you get people talk about the runner's high. They used to think it was from endorphins. Endorphins are too big of a molecule to cross the blood-brain barrier. Cannabinoids are not. They will cross. That runner's high is from your anandamide or AG2, which are your natural cannabinoids that you make in your body. THC and CBD, those cannabinoids, can also activate your endocannabinoid system. So you can see this picture. It shows how all these little dots, everything in your body has receptors for cannabinoids. Everything. Your white blood cells, your red blood cells, your immune system, your brain, your heart, your lungs, your sex organs, your skin. They found them everywhere. So the system is your homeostasis system. It keeps you, if you get too stressed, you release endocannabinoids in your body, and it helps balance the stress level. They found out if you sing, it activates your endocannabinoid system. They used to say, why does coming together in groups and singing help? Why does going to church? Well, here's why. When you sing, you produce 42% more endocannabinoids, which helps reduce your stress level. Dancing does the same thing. Running does too. There are two types of receptors. CBD1, which is primarily in the brain, and they talk about that a lot. That's where you get in problem with THC. So when you have THC, you talk about, it's psychoactive. Well, THC delta 9 is altered. So you have THC-A, which doesn't get you high, but you get a lot of the medical benefits. They're doing this on the West Coast. Nobody talks about that. CBD also balances the effect of THC. So if you take the right amount, you can take THC and CBD, and you won't have the psychoactive effect. THC alpha, or A, reverses THC delta 9 effect on your brain. You don't hear about that either. But if you go to the right doctor, right pharmacist, right dispensary, they'll teach you about this stuff, and they can work with you. And if you're really sick and you need THC delta 9 for your cancer, they can work with the balancing and see what works for you. Because we're all individual patients and people, and nothing works the same. When you go into the doctor and you take a medication, how many people in here take a medication? Did they ever get your medication right the first time? Sometimes they do, sometimes they're lucky, but you know why they call it a medical practice? Because they're practicing on you. They go in, they give you a dose, they say, well, this is where we're going to start, and they go up or down. or that medication didn't work and they try a different one. Same thing with cannabis. They're not going to get it right, most likely, the first time. So they start low and they work their way up because they don't have the research yet. CB2 is in the rest of the body. It's mostly immune system. Here are all the things that they've discovered that cannabis has been reported in helping. It's helping kids with autism, with ADHD. It's helping with chronic pain. It's helping with Parkinson's, epilepsy, Alzheimer's. People, they had a report in AARP that 250,000 seniors in the first 2 years went on to a cannabis product because it's helping their chronic illnesses. Here's a study for fibromyalgia. I was talking to some people about this. The first column, very effective. This is where it's taking care of most of your problems. Marijuana, medical marijuana, very effective 62% of the time. The other three medications, they're FDA approved, 8 to 10%. Or it helps a little bit, 33% of the time for medical marijuana. Medical marijuana was about the same for the others. 32, 29, 22%. Doesn't help at all. Medical marijuana, 5% of the population that were fibromyalgia patients. And then these medications, 60, almost 70%. So for fibromyalgia patients, medical marijuana works very effectively. From the patients, they reported it. But we're still not doing studies to verify how and why this stuff is working. So, can you take cannabis products with your current medications? THC is very effective with treating a lot of conditions. It doesn't interact with, it only interacts with very much P450 enzyme in the liver, which interferes with a lot of medications. CBD they thought was a lot safer. That's the hemp product for the most part. It interacts with a lot more enzymes, but it's dose dependent. So you can play with the CBD, and if you start having side effects, you can decrease the amount and see if you can still use it. Or play with the other medications, but you need a pharmacist or a doctor to be guiding you in this. And this goes through the research. This is why we're not getting the research done. You have to go through all these steps and all these organizations to get a research done at the federal level. Now, a lot of them are dragging their feet, and if any one of them says no, then the research isn't done. And this is only for marijuana, cannabis research. So if you want research in another area, usually it's only one organization. Usually we only have to go through one of these. But for cannabis, because it's a Schedule 1, you have to go through all of these steps.
Well, they've already done 50 years. Come on.
Well, and they, for the last 50 years, they've only been studying the negative side effects.
Okay.
And because they've been studying the negative side effects, but they found good benefits, people have been reporting the good benefits by accident.
How's my timing today?
That means that, oh, well, okay, we've been looking to see if marijuana causes you to have hallucinations. Oh, but this person was a cancer patient. Oh, and their nausea stopped. That's how they discovered this patient had. So that's how they discovered a lot of the research. If they, oh, this person's pain went away. But we're looking for if it was hallucinogenic, or did it affect their ability to drive, or did it slow down. And I challenge you, take the side effect, go onto the DEA website on marijuana. They'll tell you all the negative stuff. And they'll tell you that nobody is going to report from overdosing and dying from just marijuana. But if you compare what they say as side effect, you go to almost any medication. Go to like www.drugs.com and look at their side effects. You take out a page after page of side effects, up to and including death. Most drugs are that way. Let's follow baby aspirin. Can cause ulcers, can cause unstoppable bleeding, which can cause death. You know, with the aspirin, it's over the counter. If I take this whole bottle of aspirin and consume it right now, I've treated people who've done that, who are depressed, and they almost died. We had to pump their stomach, give them charcoal, give them reversal agents, and we weren't sure if they were going to live or not. And then you got the problem of, are their liver going to survive? My dad and I figured out from they told us how much it would take for CBD to start damaging your liver. And they said it was 50 milligrams per kilogram a day. So for me, this right here is, I would have to take let's see, I'd have to take 7 bottles of this a day just to start causing liver inflammation. I'd have to take 28 bottles of this a day to cause liver damage, permanent liver damage. These bottles aren't cheap. We calculated out to start causing liver damage, I'd have to spend something like $600 a day, and to cause permanent liver damage, I have to spend anywhere from about $1,600 to $2,200 a day. Where this is like $3 to $5. And they're trying to scare people now and say, oh, you can die from taking too much CBD. Who in here wants to spend $1,600 to $2,200 a day and take it for a month? And I'll spend my $3 to $5 and kill myself with aspirin if I'm that depressed. Here are some of the negative side effects that they have listed if you go to the FDA site. Addiction. Any pain medication. I was on Motrin, and when I was coming off of it, I started having aches and pains. It's not a true addiction. It's something, you're taking a pain medication, you need to function. That's not an addiction. But like the opioids, if you take it and you don't need it, that's an addiction. Memory loss. And they're not completely sure about that, but they say that's a possible side effect. Social anxiety disorder. There's a lady I was talking to, she takes marijuana to help her with her social anxiety disorder. Everybody reacts differently. So if you take it and you're anxious and your heart palpitates, that's something that can happen with marijuana. That means you've taken too much. And the next time you take it, you're going to take a little less. But some people have problems, and they're genetic. So you need to be aware of that too. There's genetic issues when you're taking certain medications. Paranoia. Then again, you've probably taken too much. A lot of these side effects are you've taken too much of the medication, and they have these issues with other medications too. Heart damage. And there's another slide that kind of gets into this. And they have recorded, yes, low testosterone is a known side effect from taking too much CBD. Appetite irregularities. So if you take marijuana, they're called the munchies. You want to eat too much, or sometimes it even suppresses the appetite. With like CBD, you can actually decrease your appetite. That's a desirable side effect for some people. Some people, like cancer patients, you want them to eat because they have a wasting syndrome. So, and if you take just CBD, you can actually decrease your appetite. So some people, this appetite irregularity, you just need to be aware of it.
What's generally considered a therapeutic dose of CBD oil?
It's patient dependent. But like this here, I was taking this. It's 35 milligrams of a powder, and I took it twice a day for my migraines. And then I had a tincture that I was taking half a milliliter, which was 17 milligrams. So I was taking about 8 milliliters of the tincture twice a day. So what you do is you take one thing and you try it once a day and you build up. Because I started out with 1 pill a day. Because the pills last longer than the tincture. This will last you anywhere from about 4 to 8 hours. where the tincture should last you 2 to 4 hours. And if you do a patch, that can last you up to 12 hours. And they're similar to the other medications that you take, like if you do a tincture or a patch or a cream or an ointment. And a pharmacist actually probably could direct you better. I'm a nurse, so a lot of this experience is from me doing it myself. So I've used the ointments, and I've used them on my head, which have helped once I started getting a migraine. And my daughters have used the hemp creams on their psoriasis, on their skin, because it helps reduce inflammation. It's similar to a steroid. I'll answer more questions as we move on about some of the treatment options. But this doctor right here, he's a cardiologist. He also has background in pharmacology. And he was talking about how they're scaring people, but grapefruit. Grapefruit blocks that P450 enzyme in the liver, so you can't eat grapefruit if you're on a lot of heart medications, antibiotics, antidepressants. But we don't ban grapefruit. You don't see them going, we're going to make grapefruit a Schedule I drug. And that was his whole point. He says, don't be scared of something just because it might interfere with the medication. Just be aware of it. And then here he's showing you, these are the things with the liver, like the P450 enzyme that THC and CBD interfere with. And here's what CBD interferes with, the different enzymes. And he talks about the different drugs, like calcium channel blockers, benzodiazepines, and the cyclosporins, and some statins. These are all very common drugs that they use with different patients. And then CBDs also interfere with SSRIs, tricyclic antidepressants, antipsychotics, beta blockers, and it actually completely blocks your ability to process opioids. This is why CBD is great for treating opioid addictions, because you can up their CBD while decreasing their opioids, and it helps with their withdrawal because it blocks your body's ability to process. Like if you take CBD and you're on codeine, your body can't process the codeine. You won't have any benefit from the codeine at all. So you have to be aware, if you're taking one of these products, you need to know what it's blocking and what your body can't do. So if you're on metropolol and you start taking one of these products, your body can't get rid of the metropolol. So that means your blood pressure is going to drop. You need to be aware of that. Because if you go into the hospital and say, oh, I'm feeling light, feeling dizzy, or you start, you could have a heart attack from it just because this could interfere with one of your other medications. So you have to talk to your pharmacist and your doctor before you start taking one of these products. Now, if you're not on one of these products, you don't have to worry as much. But these products do have an effect on some people who have genetic problems who are younger. As you get older, amazingly, if you're not on any medications and you take these products, you tend to have fewer heart problems. Younger people, for some reason, have more problems with their heart than older people. That's what this guy was talking about. Oh,